We ordered a couple more rolls of electric netting, and it showed up this week just in time to move the lambs to larger pasture. I've been using the Premier One electric netting for all different kinds of livestock for years, and the convenience and the quality alone far outweigh the lower cost alternatives. Like with any project, if you go into it with a solid plan on how you want to get it done, execution should be a breeze.
We have 26 sections to work with.
When it comes to putting any type of electric fence up in the woods and you're dealing with trees and thorns, it can be tough and sometimes bloody work, but it's definitely worthwhile to give our animals more space. Having never moved the lambs before, there was a little bit of anxiety involved just because we had no idea if they were just going to take off on us. But with the exception of one or two mad dashes for some pretty good looking plants, I'd say it went just about as smoothly as it could go.
Get through here.
So we just got done moving the sheep into their giant pen. So they are in heaven right now over there. Now we're gonna take this pig fence and put them up against the sheep fence so it kind of expands the pig space a little more. As you can see, it's been maybe 2 weeks, and they have torn this raspberry section up, and hopefully it'll come back healthier next year.
Come on. Come on. Come on, Bella. Bella girl. Right here. Come on. Come on. You're distracted. Come on. Come on.
Beautiful girl. So before we committed to getting these, I was pretty concerned about moving them, and the last pig breed we had, which I don't know, they were the big pink ones, did not like those at all. I was just super concerned about moving them and them listening and coming to me, and these coonies are just so spectacular about that. They are kind of dog-like. They love getting pet. They come to you when you call them, and they are just pretty awesome breeds if you're considering pigs. Coming from somebody that had one heck of a time with pigs before, I am so glad I tried again with the coonies. Here he comes, the dependable homesteader. That was fast. So we're gonna kind of conjoin all these two doors together and bring the Energizer over just for some extra power, because we are running it off. There's a hot wire at the top of this fence right here, and we connected the sheep fence to that, which was only pulling about 300 volts, which
3,
is a
3,000.
3,000 I mean. So we're bringing the pigs over here with the Energizers, and it should pull probably 6,000 or 7,000. We have about double the space, which is super nice. It's a lot of fencing going on. It looks confusing on the camera. It's nice that they're all together though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 6,000 now. Holy cow, that was a lot of work, but we got all the animals moved today. The sheep graduated from this area right here, so they have this huge area over here now. Probably takes up, I don't know how much space it takes up, but it's a 328 foot perimeter. What do you guys think of your new next door neighbors?
Our next project was to convert our old storage shed into a farrowing station for the baby pigs showing up next month.
So we're getting this garden shed that's always been super trashed and just been a catch-all for all of our bikes, lawnmowers, tools. We cleared it all out, and we got all of these workbenches that were along the side out of here because we have to make room for the piglets that are going to be here in August or so, and then eventually we're going to have baby sheep and everything like that. So we really needed an area that would hold everybody, that we can separate into a couple sections for babies and mama as well.
Harvesting trees for our project.
Stealing signs. Just kidding, I bought these. Holy, look at Black Widow. Headed out to feed the pigs right now. Relocated yesterday. Got everybody moved around. Everybody seems to be super happy, enjoying the new space. Because we do move the animals around so much, it's really important to have a shelter that's fairly easy to move as well. So these little calf hutches are really great for that, and you can find them on Facebook Marketplace for probably 50 to 100 bucks. It's just made of plastic, pretty bulky and awkward, but it's not heavy by any means. And for the pigs, I just used an old storage tent that just has an aluminum frame, and I cut it down to a much shorter size. Took some roofing material, just scrap from what we had used on the house, and used a little pop riveter and attached it to the frame. So that's been a super easy portable thing as well, and that also is super light. As we continue to really grow out the pig and sheep operation, we will definitely be investing in more of the little calf hutches here, because even for the pigs, that's going to be a lot easier than trying to fabricate more structures like this one. So I would definitely recommend using that if you're trying to get into raising pigs, raising sheep, raising anything really. So the most important part of all of this and running all of these animals kind of in tandem on rotation throughout the property is a good energizer. I got an energizer that's a 30-mile energizer, and that theoretically should be able to run 30 miles of fence. Now that's without any interference, without any branches or leaves touching the fence. So I'm not going to get nearly 30 miles out of this. You can see where the pigs are right here. You can kind of see the whole perimeter. You can't see the backside very well. But the sheep area is huge, probably an acre or more. So by putting this on the corner, I'm able to piggyback one fence off the other, and rather than going and buying two different energizers, which isn't super economical, I can run them all off the same one. How long can I make it work on one energizer? I'm not 100% sure. Will I have to buy another one eventually? Yes. Once the piglets are born, the males are going to have to be separated at a certain point. Once they get to a breedable age, we don't want them breeding with their sisters. The lambs are going to be bred as well, and we'll have to have separate paddocks at a certain point, so unwanted breeding doesn't happen there. I'll most likely have to get another energizer at that point. But for now, I'm glad we were able to make it work with just one. So I do mix the pig feed with water. By doing that and fermenting it, you can get a lot more bang for your buck out of what you spend on feed. When you do that, I'll fill the bucket about halfway with water, and then I'll just take a scooper and add the dry feed into it until it gets to a kind of an oatmeal-like consistency. The grain is going to really expand that way because the surface area is increasing so much. You're getting a lot more sizable portion, a lot more weight out of a smaller amount of feed. I'll notice, like, if I get it about to 3/4 of the way full in this bucket and close it, a couple days later, if I just let that sit, the bucket will be totally full. You're taking a smaller amount of feed and maximizing its potential and saving yourself quite a bit of money as well. You can do this same thing with chicken feed. So I'll be doing that. The meat birds are going to be here this week. I'll probably do it with their food as well. Now, as I mentioned, the meat chickens, we've got 30 Cornish cross showing up this week. When those show up, I only went with 30 this year. I've done 100 before, and that can be a little bit more work, and especially when it comes to butchering. My goal is to have the Amish butcher them this time around, but I only got 30, so holy smokes, you hear that? I only got 30, so worst case scenario, if I end up having to butcher, I only wanted to have to deal with 30 at that time. I'm gonna do probably 30 now and then 30 in the fall, and that way we've got 60 to put in the freezer for our family. Because we converted the barn to be able to house the piglets, and ahead of that be able to house our brooder for the baby chicks, then we don't have to keep them in the house in a bin or anything, and they really kind of stink it up over time. I was able to finish this chicken tractor as well. So once they're adults, then I can move this each day, and that puts them on fresh grass every day and leaves the fertilizer behind for the grass to grow behind them. I'm gonna use this and follow along the driveway line. This gives a super direct path throughout the course of their 10 weeks of life before they're butchered, to be able to move them every day without too much hassle.
On top of everything else, we decided this weekend we were going to go ahead and bite the bullet and move our garden beds. We were going to wait until spring to do this, but we decided why not get it done now and get some fall crops in the ground and hope for the best.
Cameron is going to get a pile of sticks and leaves in the woods that we had pushed back there in the fall time. We're gonna put it in the garden beds so that we have some good drainage in there and some good compost starting in there.
So we're throwing some cardboard down right here. We just planted carrots in here, and when you plant them this late in the season, carrots like to start off super cool. So we're trying to block out some of the heat and sunlight, and just while they germinate, and then as soon as we start to see them pop through the soil, then we can go ahead and pull the cardboard off, and they'll be good to go for fall harvest.
This is gonna be a nice video. It's gonna be a good video.
Video.
Yeah.